Video, we're going to talk about the fancy calculator support to figure out the compound interest problems. So on our calculator, we're going to hit the apps, and we're going to use number 1 finance, hit enter, and number 1 TV and solver, so hit enter. That gives us this list. All we need to do is to read the question carefully and fill out the information for this list. In class, we mentioned about the capital N stands for the total times. How many times you're going to deal with the bank to pay the payment, things like that. So the capital N is equal to compounded period K times the total number of the years, lowercase n, okay? So the capital N is equal to K times N. Remember that detail. Interest rate, what you see is what you got, and the PV is the present value that can be negative or positive. Think about that. If you need to take out money, then you are losing the money right now, so that becomes negative. Or somebody give you some free money, you gain some money, so that can be positive. PMT, payment or down payment. It can be positive or it can be negative. So anytime you think about you need to take money out of your pocket to make a payment, that will become negative, okay? Or somebody give you some money monthly as a payment to you, that become positive. So anyway, read the question. If you do not see any keyword indicate payment, leave me alone. 0 is the location as the perfect solution answer, okay? Future value. Now, future value most of the time will be the answer, what we want to look for. But, when you see the problem, it's about loan, student loan, mortgage loan, or loan to buy a car, things like that. Your future value will equal to 0. That is a key when we're dealing with the loan, okay? Now, moving on. PY, that means the payment per year. So that means you have to read the question. Any special indicated payment, how many times I'm going to make the payment, you're going to change it monthly. That will be payment 12 per year, 12, okay? And the CY will be the compounded period per year. So again, we get to read the question, is that compounding quarterly or compounding daily? We get to read. Most of the time, those two numbers will be the same until you see you have special thing about the payment per year and the compounded interest per year, the compounding period, then you're going to change the number. The very last one about the payment is when you're going to make such payment, at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year. So the information coming from the reading. How do we get the answer after we fill in this list? So we're going to move the flashing line to the desired location. Once you get to the location, we're going to hit the alpha, the green button, and hit enter, and that will give us the information. So here we go, go. In class, I mentioned about those drill problems, so let's do it one more time. So blah, 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 happily see the loan. So you know that my future value will be 0, okay? So I'm taking out a loan, which means the 12,000 will be my present value. I get a loan right now, the present value, so which tells me my PV will be positive 12,000. Okay, and I know the interest rate, so I can enter and compound it annually, so which means K equal to 1. Part A, the loan is to be repaid in payment. Ooh la la, payment. So I do have a PMT of 1,500. Okay, so payment, I need to make the payment. So for me, I get to take out the money out from my pocket. So I will have a negative 1,500. At the end of each year, so every year I just made one payment. So that will be the PY will be 1. Moving on, find the number of years that will take me to repay the loan. Okay, so we know everything. As you can see here, go to my apps, go to the finance, and go to the TV and solver. I'm going to enter the list. So the number of the year, I don't know, so leave me alone. I can go to the next one. I do know my interest rate is 4.3, so 4.3. And I do know about my present value. I spending the future money. So right now I have a positive amount. And the payment, as we mentioned about, I need to take out the money from my pocket, so it's a negative. So I got negative 1,500. And because it's a loan, so the future value had to be 0. Very good. And we mentioned about the payment as read, end of each year, so just one time deal. And the compounded interest, as you read from the beginning, compounded annually, so the K it's 1. Very good. Now, what do we know about the payment? The payment tells me it's at the end of each year, so I need to change the beginning to end. So what do? I just change that to end. Right now, and hit enter. So now I have all my lists. It's okay. So now I want to know the number of years, so which means I need to move the flashing light all the way to the end. So up, 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 up. All right. Alpha, enter. I got a perfect answer. So that will be the 10.01 year. All right, because they want me to figure out a number of years, so the capital N is equal to the K times N, aka the lowercase n will equal to the capital N divided by K, which is 1. So I still got the 10 years, okay? All right, part II, calculate the total amount that has been paid in motorizing the loan. Motorizing means I'm going to repay the loan, clear my balance, right? So it's a payment pay. So each month I need to pay 1,500. I need to suffer for 10.01 years, and that's the amount of money. Now you see that the evil bank, right? The evil corporation. So I just need 12,000, but look how much I end up to repay. Oh, they made 3,000 out of me. Ugh, not good, huh? All right, part B. It's still a loan problem, so the future value will be 0. Very good. Now, the loan is to be amortized over 5 years. What does it tell you? That means my time changed. How many times, right? Now, we still underneath this information. So compounding annually, K equal to 1. I still made a loan for the payment end of each year, so my payment per year is also 1. So what is the difference? The number total times will be 5 times 1, and I'm still doing with the bank with the same rate, so 4.3, and I got the loan. They give me the free money as a present value, and they say what will be the payment at the end of each year. So I'm looking for the payment, and I know it's a loan problem, so the future value will be 0. So now I do know my time. My time become 5 years, and I know that will be each time at the end of each year, so the payment will be 1. So 5 times 1, the same rate, and I got the loan as a present value positive. I made payment negative 15. That was the old one. Right now I want to know what will be the difference if I choose 5 years instead of earlier was how many years? I don't know yet, right? But this time they want me to figure out 5 years. What will be my new payment? So therefore I'm going to move my flashing line all the way to payment. So now I hit alpha, enter. Ooh la la. Why is negative? Well, because you're making a payment. You're taking out the money from you to pay the bank. So that will be negative. But we know that money, right? So that means the bank will get 2,718. Do they say whole number? Okay, so whole number, and that's it. All right, part BII, calculate the total amount that has been paid in motorized loan. So we are dealing with the 5 years. So every payment at the each year, I need to go by 5 years. So I'm times 5, and that's the amount of money. Okay. All right, practice makes better. So let's do another loan problem. So blah, 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 blah. So smile, you see it's a loan problem. The future value is equal to 0. All right, I got this money right now, so the present value will be positive 32,000. I have an interest rate, enter that, compounded monthly, so K equal to 12. She agrees to pay back the loan in 60 equal endorsement. that means what? 60. So how do we do that? Well, think about that. If you make a payment is monthly, right? So that will be 12. So 60 equally over the 5 years, which makes sense. 12 times 5, that is 60. So that end up the same thing. At the end of each month, so I had to choose the end. So what we do, enter everything we know about that. As you can see, the capital N is the total. So monthly, but I had to do it for 5 years, so that will give us the 60. And the interest rate is 5.29, so I enter 5.29. And we talk about the present value. I have the money right now, so that will be a positive 32,000. And we don't hear anything about the payment, and that's why they want us to figure out the monthly installment, which will be the monthly payment. So I'm going to alpha this part. Because it's a loan, so the future value had to be 0. I'm spending the future money, so when in the future, I don't have any money. Payment per year, when you read this question, it tells you it's a what? I am going to monthly the payment. So therefore, the payment per year will be 12. So I'm going to change that to 12. And at the beginning, you read that it's a compounded monthly. So that will be CY will be 12. And reading that at the end of each month, so that will be the end. So now I want to know the monthly payment. So alpha, I had to go to the PNT. So moving the flashlight all the way to PNT, then alpha, enter. So now I need to pay $608.14, and that's it. All right. For 4 years after she starts repaying the loan, Stella decides to repay the rest in a final single installment. So just one final payment, okay? Calculate the amount owing at the end of the 4 years. Now, in class, we talk about that. How do I analyze the information? So first, we still with the bank, so that will be the monthly compounded. So my N, the capital N, is equal to 12K times, now when you read this question, they mention about 4 years, so I'm going to times 4. Good. I'm still dealing with the same bank, so that will be the same interest rate. I got the same loan, okay? I'm making the the payment, okay? Now, instead of 5 years, I want to get it done after the 4 years. So my future value, which tells me I still own the bank. So I want to figure it out is the future value, how much money at year 4 I still own the bank, okay? So now nothing changed at the end, so I just need to move the flashing light all the way to the future value and alpha, enter. And that tells me I still own the bank for the 7,092.82 cents. So this will be what we mentioned about the fun thing about processing through the information, and read carefully and use the fancy calculator to deal with the complex interest rate problem, okay? And that's all. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.